Young octopuses develop mysterious organs that are lost without a trace over time. Internal organs grow and change throughout life, but they rarely disappear without a trace. In the case of small octopuses, things are not so simple. These are unusual, temporary, microscopic structures called collicas, KO, organs. They grow in the octopus embryo, but they disappear over time. Today, researchers are closer to solving the mystery of these unusual organs. Collicas organs, KO, cover the entire body surface of the tiny octopus. First, they hide in pockets in the leather, and then pull out, like folded umbrellas. Any of these similar structures can open to reveal a bundle of bristly fibers. Why is this happening, and what are the disappearing organs for? New insights from recent research have been published in the journal Frontiers in Marine Science. Sometimes cos look a bit like brooms. And when they open they look like dandelion flowers, explains Roger Villanueva, a researcher at the Institut de Ciencias del Mar of Spain's National Research Council, who is the lead author of the new findings. Biologists have known about the collica organs for decades, but no one has been able to say for sure what they are for, or why octopuses completely lose their set of bristly appendages long before they reach adulthood. In the new study, scientists analyzed the embryos of 17 octopus species using special microscopes. The samples were first immersed in a liquid and then irradiated to obtain an image of hardly visible structures. Of the 17 species studied, 15 had co. The other 2 are representatives of animals that are born relatively large and spend their entire lives in the depths of the oceans. All individuals with collica organs are born very small and stay close to the surface until they reach adulthood. The team found that cos are evenly distributed throughout the body of young octopuses and tend to be the same size regardless of the size of the embryo. It was also found that when all collica organs are fully open, the animal's body surface area increases by 2/3. The findings may point to the mysterious purpose of co, the researchers say. We believe that these organs can be used by juvenile octopuses to change the ratio of body surface area to volume, explains Villanueva. Thanks to the ability to significantly increase or decrease the surface area of their bodies, young octopuses may be better adapted to resist ocean currents. Such a feature seems to be extremely useful in the case of small animals that are exposed to strong currents when swimming close to the surface of the water. Researchers speculate that unfolding or hiding the co may help the young conserve energy. But there is also another possibility. Researchers point out that already in 1974 in the journal, Aquaculture, the ability of co to refract light, similarly to crystals, was described. This ability can help blur the contours of juveniles in the water, making them harder for predators to catch. This would explain why collica organs are not found in deep-sea species. Light does not reach them, so such camouflage is simply unnecessary for them. Despite the new discoveries, scientists say the true purpose of these unusual disappearing organs remains a mystery. Future observations of octopuses hatching in the wild could help biologists get closer to solving the co-mystery. For now, researchers are happy to share the unusual beauty of small cephalopods, especially since collica's organs had never been observed so closely. New technology allows you to learn languages faster. Research by neuroscientists at the University of Pittsburgh and the University of California, San Francisco, UCSF, has shown that a simple Earphone-like device developed at UCSF can significantly improve a user's ability to learn a new language. The device stimulates a key nerve leading to the brain and can be widely used not only in aiding language learning, but in general knowledge acquisition. Chinese, Mandarin, is one of the most difficult languages to learn. It uses characteristic changes in pitch. Changing the tone of voice changes the meaning of words that otherwise sound the same. In a new study published in Science of Learning, researchers have significantly improved the ability to discriminate between Mandarin tones in people born outside of China. This was achieved by using precisely timed, non-invasive stimulation of the vagus nerve, the longest of the 12 cranial nerves that connect the brain to the rest of the body. Showing that non-invasive peripheral nerve stimulation can facilitate language learning opens the door to improved cognitive performance in a wide variety of domains, said study author Fernando Llanos. This is one of the first pieces of evidence that non-invasive vagal stimulation can improve complex cognitive skills, such as language learning, adds Dr. Matthew Leonard, whose team developed the nerve stimulation device. The researchers used a non-invasive technique they had developed, which they called transcutaneous vagus nerve stimulation, TVNS. The method involves placing a small stimulator in the ear that can activate the vagus nerve with electrical impulses that are imperceptible to humans. Why in the ear? Because there is a branch of the vagus nerve in the ear. The researchers selected 36 English-speaking people to experiment with the new technology and trained them to identify the 4 tones of Mandarin. To do this, they used previously developed sets of tasks to study the neurobiology of language learning. Participants who received imperceptible impulses were, on average, 13% better at distinguishing the distinctive tones of Mandarin and peaked twice as fast as control participants. There is a general belief that people cannot learn the sound patterns of a new language as adults, but our work has shown that this is not true, says Professor Bharath Chandrasekaran. The study confirmed that the pulses can improve the brain's abilities more than anything else I've seen so far, he adds. Researchers are now investigating whether longer training sessions with electrical pulses can affect participants' ability to learn to distinguish between harder-to-grasp tones. Vagus nerve stimulation is used to treat epilepsy. Its usefulness in the treatment of depression or inflammatory diseases has also been proven, although it is not known exactly how it affects the human body. However, most known therapies use invasive forms of stimulation using a pulse generator implanted in the chest. The ability to stimulate learning with simple, non-invasive technology could lead to much cheaper and safer applications in the future. Scientists suspect that the pulses stimulate the learning process by amplifying neurotransmitters in many parts of the brain. However, further research is needed to thoroughly verify this mechanism. Scientists have discovered the closest relative of domestic dogs. A team of scientists affiliated with several research centers in Japan have found evidence that the Japanese pygmy wolf is the closest known relative of domestic dogs. Experts in their work describe the DNA of the now extinct wolf and compare it with the genome of modern animals. The Japanese pygmy wolf, Canis lupus hodophilix, is an extinct subspecies of the gray wolf, Canis lupus, that once lived on many Japanese islands. Rabies contributed to its destruction, but so did landowners, hunters and poachers. However, many samples of wolf tissue and bones have been preserved, and there are also several stuffed specimens around the world. This allowed the researchers to extract the animal's DNA. The results of the analyses were published in a paper that was recently made available on the bArchive platform. Recently, there is also a debate in the scientific community whether, due to its specific size and geographical isolation, this wolf should not be classified as a separate species. By comparing the DNA of the Japanese pygmy wolf with that of other wolves, dogs and species such as foxes, the researchers found that the animal is on a unique evolutionary branch that originated around 20,000 to 40,000 years ago. Scientists also noted that centuries ago, some of these wolves evolved into samurai wolves, Canis lupus hattai, and others into dogs. Previous research has suggested that modern domestic dogs evolved from an extinct subspecies of the grey wolf. Thanks to the new work, we are learning more about this unique species from which dogs originated. New genetic evidence indicates that it probably lived in Eastern Asia. It has previously been suggested that he was from the Middle East or Europe. The ancestors of this wolf later appeared in Japan. However, it is still unclear what happened to the lineage that evolved into dogs. DNA studies have also shown that there was interbreeding between wolf and dog lines. In the genome of an extinct species of sled dog 10,000 years ago, about 2% of the genes were found. Samurai wolf DNA. Scientists suggest that such interbreeding occurred before the appearance of the samurai wolf in Japan. Thus, it seems unlikely that dogs arrived on the island much later than wolves. New research shows that New Guinea singing dogs, Canis lupus hallstromi, and dingoes, Canis dingo, are most closely related to the samurai wolf of all modern species. This suggests that thousands of years ago, wolves migrated long distances.